Welcome back, everybody. It's Ellen from Babybeard Media. Well, how do? And I'm playing Kentucky Route Zero. And it's quite dark and spooky down here in the Elkwood Mine, which is where we left off, essentially. Conway trapped his leg under some falling rubble. Oh god, look at the way that it all sways in the breeze. Yeah, that's what you want for a mine structure that's gonna, withstand the forces of the elements. I don't know much about Kentucky or really America in general, so I don't know what the weather is like out there, but if it's anything like country Australia, it's pretty dry. It's, suffers from lack of rain, and you can get some pretty big dust storms, the further and further and further out you go. You also have to suffer with, extreme heat. I was talking a bit about my dad and how he used to work for an oil company. Sometimes the temperatures of where he would be well over 50 degrees Celsius. I know that not everyone uses Celsius, but it's pretty, look it up in your little calculator, do a Celsius to Fahrenheit converter. 50 degrees is extremely, extremely hot. So you have to contend with nature that just wants you out of there, Let's have a look at this shack. The cramped shack is lined with wooden shelves, dusty stacks of tape reels and notebooks crowd the room, but a bit of moonlight filters through a window near the ceiling. On a small desk in the middle of the room lay 3 notebooks. The red one is labelled J. Marquez, the green one is labelled R. Marquez, and the blue one is unlabelled. I want to have a look at this blue one. The notebook is full of Greek letters and cryptic mathematical formulas. Near the back of the book, what first looks like it might be an esoteric German shorthand is actually a love poem written in anagrams. Oh, I want to read the poems. Aw, okay. The green one is R. Marquez. Let's have a look. Conway opens the green notebook. On each page is a delicately rendered charcoal drawing. Most are portraits of rugged faces. Near the middle of the book there are a few drawings of a young girl in a miner's helmet. She plays along the minecart tracks, collecting pieces of wire. In one drawing, another young girl sits nearby, intently studying a book. I wonder if that's Shannon. The way she talks, it definitely sounds like she's been down in the mine before. And another young girl intently studies a book. Well, that sounds like Weaver if we ever met her. Copenhagen? Conway opens the red notebook. The pages are covered in disorganized notes, some written horizontally and others scribbled vertically into margins. A few pages are lined more evenly and divided up into... Oh yeah, this place. These notebooks are labelled Marquez. Your parents are the archivists? No. Weaver's parents are the archivists. My parents were miners. Or I feel like there's a bit of class distinction there. Or academia versus labour. How's the leg? I can walk on it, but it's slow. Well, I'll try not to get too far ahead of you. You don't mind my hitching a ride, do you? I kinda got a lift out here and wasn't sure if, when I'd be heading back. I can drive. Wasn't sure if she was heading back. Shannon, you got a death wish or something? Heading into a lonely mine on your lonesome? Yeah. Maybe that's best. Don't worry, I've been driving since I was 9. I still need to find the zero. Well, it's like I told you. Weaver doesn't lie. If she sent you here to find your own ramp, then this is where you should be looking. Or maybe you just weren't listening closely enough and that's not exactly what she said. I saw Weaver at my workshop. That's up north by Lake Nolan, right at Wax and Peonia in the back of a bait shop. Pretty glamorous, right? These are the times we live in. She's either up there or back at the farmhouse. Whichever you want to head to first, just let me know. I had to put a little emphasis on that first. Sounds almost New York, doesn't it? Or Jersey. What's this one? What does that mean? The two people handing together. Oh, I guess maybe that means that Shannon will drive, as opposed to the steering wheel logo, which is probably just Conway hops in at the wheel and Shannon will still get in, but... La Set Antiques. I guess this is your truck? Surprised? It's kinda old. No, I'm not surprised. I guess it's an antique too. I think it suits you. Aw. What do you reckon, Blue? Let's have a little chat to my dog. Blue, this is Shannon. Nice to meet you, Blue. I've got some dried banana slices in my bag. Would you like one? Take care of your friend here, and there's more when that came from. Aw, that's sweet. Bribing the dog. Conway has places to go. So let's hit that road, huh? Let's hit the old... Oh, I was going to say dog and bone, but that's telephone. Let's hit the old dusty rail. The old bucket and pail. Dusty trail? I got no idea. If you have any fun, like, little rhyming slang, please comment below, because I really love to hear weird, strange, you know, phrases that no one else knows about. This one got crossed out because it led to the Elkwood Mines, not the zero on ramp. I wonder if Weaver was trying to get me and Shannon together. Okay. Up north a ways by the lake. Right where Peonia and Wax Road meet. Alright. Up north. It doesn't say... by the lake. Okay, it just doesn't say what route I'm meant to head on, but this is north, so I guess I head up north. You know? You feel? You feel me? Except this just is ... So Bacon Creek Road. I live on Bacon Creek Road. It intersects with Eggyville. Okay. I'm just gonna keep kind of trying to head up and see if that's gonna take... Oh, Wax Road. Right where Peonia and Wax Road meet. Cool. Which one's Peonia? Here? There we are. Hey, we found it. Conway and Shannon pull into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above the road on a thin steel bar, a handwritten sign reads "Live Bait, minnows small and also large for stripers, nightcrawlers, chips and beer." A green flyer hangs loosely from a bit of masking tape at eye level. To the shop's right, a dirt parking lot sprawls unevenly into grass and then eventually trees. The bait shop is closed. And to the side door to Shannon's workshop. The walls are lined with cheap metal shelves, loaded precariously with vacuum tubes, awkwardly shaped metal casings, and coffee cans full of electronic components. Shannon leads Conway to the back of the room, where a few TV sets in various states of disassembly are set up on a rough wooden table. She flips the switch on the power strip they're all plugged into, and the TV sets tremble to life. Hey, I've got a question about coffee cans in America, because I know that, like, a lot of American coffee that I've seen in TV anyway comes from like a filter pot. Now, I'm guessing that that's just the coffee grounds in like a filter, and then you just kind of pour hot water through. Is it good? Like, we usually have... I have no idea what the perks are. Perks. You know, for coffee. That perks you up. I have no idea what the perks are between, like, having it through a kind of coffee machine, which does the same thing essentially. You just have the hot water kind of come steaming through, or, you know, versus just kind of pouring it over the top. Like, I have no idea what the benefits are, but I also don't know why, like, all American coffee is, like, done that way. I guess it makes it easier to kind of pour out. We don't also have, like, a big diner culture here in Australia, which I feel like in diners you get, like, the refillable coffee, and that's kind of, like, a big selling point. But I don't know. How do you have your coffee? Let me know. Like, let me know in the comments below. And if you ever come to Australia, I'll make you a mug or two. How about that? I want to ask Shannon about Weaver. Conway asks Shannon where she saw Weaver. Shannon points to a small security monitor on the table. The image on the screen is just black, but it seems to be fading slowly, almost imperceptibly between different shades of black. Shannon tweaks a few knobs on the side of the monitor, but the picture doesn't change. Conway stares directly at the security monitor. The screen is a cavernous black. It hums and swells at the pace of the tide. Conway loses track of the workshop walls. They could be inches away or miles. He is adrift on black water, travelling swiftly towards a rocky shore. There should be a lighthouse or buoy by these rocks. It's too dangerous. Shannon switches off the power strip. Weaver is not here. Okay. Well, now what? Damn. I don't know where else to go. Unless we just kind of go around. Oh, and now it won't even let me at the bait shop. Interesting. Maybe I looked in the wrong place. Well, it's a good night as any for a good old drive. Oh, I was not expecting I thought it was going to be a more text adventure. Two shirtless, shoeless men push a light aircraft along the highway. Occasionally one or the other slips a bit on the sweating asphalt or stops to pull back his hair. The men are nearly broken. Is there anything I can do to help? The rubber is almost worn away. Soon these men will be dragging this airplane. There's not anything I can do to help. I don't know what I'd do to help anyway, but... There's nothing I can do? No? What are they doing by the side of the road with an aircraft? And I have no idea why they're shirtless and shoeless. Okay. Well, I guess I'm ready to leave. Wow. That's so bizarre. I don't know if this will come. I don't know if we recorded this or if it was just an off-air conversation that I had with Phil, another one of Babybeard's wonderful performers and cohorts. But he has actually flown a plane before, which I was just like so jealous. I was like jealous, but I was also, you know, some experiences you don't necessarily need to have, if that makes sense. Like, I am not that confident in my ability to figure out what direction I'm going in. I'm really good at directions if I'm out and about. I wonder if I get onto that ramp. No, I can't get onto that ramp. Okay. I'm really good at knowing where I'm going. There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. Bit of old creepy Willy Wonka there for you. Yes, but I'm really good at knowing directions and stuff if I'm walking around. Like if my shoes are making contact with the earth, then I can kind of know which way I'm going. And I'm very lucky here because here in Adelaide where I live, it's all on a grid. Like the whole town is like pretty much, yeah, it's all straight lines and cubes, and that's all very nice to navigate on because you just know, well, hey, if I make another right and then another right after that, I'll end up kind of back along a parallel street, and I can, or a main road, and I can kind of find my way from there. The office of the Buffalo Creek Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation is almost invisible from the road, its parking lot overgrown with weeds and its facade sheltered by ivy. Let's look in a window. Conway looks through a window. A sinewy shadow obstructs the view through the window. Okay. A person? Let's walk in. The floor is loosely covered in dirt. Part of the carpet has rotted with exposure to rain. Wild mushrooms grow in some corners of the room. The wall behind the front desk has been mostly rotted away. It looks fragile. Let's go through the back wall. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Okay, cool. Yep, we go through. Let's push the rotted old wall away. He pushes through the mouldy back wall. Conway finds himself in what may have once been a conference room. The floor has fallen away in places and filled with a dark green mire. The walls of the conference room are decayed and damaged. Hey, let's Kool-Aid this bitch. The drywall dissolves as Conway pushes through it, falling in damp clumps in the marsh. He breaks through into a long hallway. The glow of a bioluminescent fungus casts a faint blush on the walls. Conway has the feeling he has interrupted something. After a moment of silence, the frog chorus resumes. An old abandoned building. Probably seen better days. Okay, so this is the end of the Interstate 65. What I started on. We're gonna have... Oh, speaking of, I was talking about American diner culture, which I know nothing about. The diner doesn't appear to have a name. A vinyl banner slung above the door simply reads 24 hours. It only has one window behind which the blinds are tightly closed. Well, it says 24 hours. Conway tries the door. The door swings open easily. A bell rings nearby. The interior of the diner is pitch black. Let's not just walk into an empty, dark room. Conway stands in the doorway, waiting for his eyes to adjust. A bit of errant light from the nearby highway creeps through the open door, and gradually Conway is able to make out a few figures inside. Two old men in trucker hats sit in a corner booth with a checkers board set on the table between them. A young woman standing behind the counter in an apron must be a waitress. The cook stares blankly from the kitchen. The door slams shut, and the room is dark again. Hey, yeah, could I get some coffee or something? Conway walks in the direction of the counter. He hits his knee on something hard and metallic, winces quietly, and then carefully finds his way to a stool. He places his hand on the counter. Another hand, a young woman's, rests itself on his. She guides his fingers to a laminated menu. Conway closes his eyes, opens them, maybe closes them again. Impossible to differentiate. Let's get some coffee. A cup of coffee would do it. Black. Oily even. Hot, familiar diner coffee. Conway runs his hand down the menu. The surface is uniformly flat and slick with condensation. He feels a warm hand against his cheek and freezes. Her fingers run across the stubble of his chin. He feels like apologizing. She leans forward and so does he. Whoa! Did we just have like a very romantic encounter there? I have no idea. It reminds me of if anyone's seen the movie About Time with Donald Gleason and Rachel McAdams, one of their first dates is they meet in one of those dark restaurants where the idea is that because it's dark you can kind of focus more with the dimming of one sense, the heightening of others, and you can really like focus on your meal. And they have this whole little flirtation in the dark where they can't see each other. It's very cute. The exterior of the Barren River Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation, oh Jesus, that's a wordful, is a dingy beige sprinkled with fading graffiti. The front door hangs open from a broken hinge. The windows are dark. I guess there's a few buildings from this cooperative around. The windows are too dirty to see anything inside but a few dim shapes. Furniture maybe? Or livestock? Let's go in. Conway steps through the front door. The room feels empty with no furniture other than the built-in front desk, host to a disconnected telephone and a few empty beer cans. Meandering lines of colour have been spray-painted along the walls. Behind the desk, a hallway leads into darkness. Ring ring, hello? Conway lifts the telephone receiver to his ear. There's no dial tone. The phone is disconnected. Listen closer. Conway closes his eyes. With the phone pressed close to his ear, Conway can hear a thin, quiet roar, like the ocean, or the highway. What's in the hallway? The hallway passes several smaller office doors. It quickly disappears into darkness. Something is glowing in the distance, barely. Walk to the dark end of the hall. The door at the far end of the hallway is tightly closed, but a warm glow bleeds in from its edges. Conway opens the door at the end of the hallway. The handle is loose, and the door swings open easily. The hallway fills with warmth, light, and the smells of smoke and coffee. About a dozen men and women sit around a campfire in the middle of a large room. Cubicle walls have been cut into pieces, some leaning up against the walls, and some arranged into stacks of firewood. One of the women waves to Conway and offers him an empty chair. It's missing wheels, but it's comfortable and easily adjustable to his height. Someone takes a pot hung above the fire and pours coffee into a styrofoam cup. Conway accepts it, and they all return to watching the fire. They've just made a campfire in the middle of an office room. This game is nothing but a whole bag of bizarre. Cumberland Parkway. Can I go further? Nope. Won't budge. Alright. Back to exploring the highway. Oh. Anyone else hear that? There's like a... Oh. Like some kind of humming? Goodness gracious. Could just be the whirring of like electrical parts, but I don't know. I wouldn't take anything in this game at face value. It all seems to be trying to speak to you in you know, ways of metaphors and poetry and the beauty of kind of empty buildings. I was talking about some places they have there's some YouTube channels about exploring old abandoned buildings, and I have no idea, like, I guess it's just ennui or sadness, beauty. There's something very evocative. Is that the same church? Yeah, it's the same church. Cool, so there are some places that we can go back to, but some that after our interactions are kind of like lost forever, which is, you know, chilling and, say it with me folks, ominous. I went along here. I wonder if I could get back to the gas station. Oh, that's something I haven't seen before. A wreck. And don't worry guys, I wasn't just looking in the mirror. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a big swerve. What? Oh, this came up. I can't go further than that. This came up in when we were at the gas station, the Equus Oils, that there was a big accident on the highway. Conway shakes his head. What a mess, huh? Do you think anyone was hurt? Looks like a tough one to walk away from. It does, doesn't it? That's a big swerve. I wonder if it... yeah, just lost control, I guess. Cars are very, frightening, and I don't think we really acknowledge that a lot. I think if we acknowledged it... I used to have huge car anxiety, or driving anxiety. But yeah, I was petrified of getting behind the wheel, because it's just it's a big death trap, you know? It's very unforgiving, and not only... it could not only affect your life, but it could totally ruin someone else's just from your, you know, not paying attention or not focusing, or you get tired, you have a micro nap. Just very, very scary. I hope I've not put anyone off, but I know it's totally normal and understandable to have a lot of fear about getting behind the wheel or staying behind the wheel. Conway moves on, and you know what, dear listeners? So do we. So I will see you in another episode of Kentucky Route Zero. Thank you so much for joining me. You can check out all the other Let's Plays that we've got on this channel at Babybeard Media. We are also on all good podcatchers with our awesome podcasts. We do a role-playing podcast called Roll to Cast, where we play a different season of a role-playing game. And it's super fun. We've done Cyberpunk 2020, Cyberpunk Red, we've done Vampire the Masquerade, we're doing Pulp Cthulhu. Yeah, that's right, Pulp Cthulhu. So we're not afraid to get spooky down here at Babybeard Media, let it be said. And for you lovely guys, gals, everything in betwixt, I love ya, and I'll see you next time. Bye.